So now for realsies this time.
For realsies.
Well, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Tangents Podcast. My name is Dalibor. This is Hadis.
Yeah.
And we are back.
I'm going to say the same thing I said the first time you said that. It's
been
a while.
It has been a while. It's been a while. Last time it was had a guest on.
Yeah.
We talked about, we talk about many things. AI.
Yeah, usually, tangents.
And, yeah, right. But then we got to UFOs. He had a legitimate UFO sighting back in the day, and not necessarily in the sense that it's aliens, but, like, definitely an unidentified. Yeah,
right, sure.
Some shit that was unidentified.
Sure.
And the circumstances around it are very, very interesting. Like, I think you should watch that one.
Yeah,
you should watch that one.
No, I'll definitely. I'm surprised I missed it. So
it's been a fucking while.
It's been a while.
Listen, man. You know what? I have expanded operations of shit way faster than anyone else should. So let's talk about that first. Like, let's talk about when you're doing some shit, right? You're doing, whether it's YouTube or let's say you're doing YouTube.
Yeah.
You should not do a second, let alone a third channel, until you're able to hire somebody for editing, man.
Yeah.
Because I spent all fucking day today editing just a vlog. Have I touched the edit of the tech video that we shot 2 weeks ago? Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah.
So, like,
the camera work on that tech video.
I can't wait.
I
point. Cannot wait.
That cameraman was nailed it.
No, but seriously, like, I spent the first half of basically the first half of April, like, focused on getting the magazine out because I started a magazine as well. So, like, every 3 months, I end up in I'm trying to, like, get ahead of myself on that. Like, I'd love to just be able to be done with that, like, a week ahead of when I want to release it.
Right.
But, like, so far it has not worked out.
Yeah.
And it ends up being very much, here's the fucking, like, the night before. Like, I want to release it on the first of the quarter. Yeah. And I release it not then. Like 2 weeks later.
I mean, listen, it's hard to, there's a lot we want to do, and unfortunately, there's not enough time in the day to do it all. So
that's the thing, right? And plus, I do a comic book podcast. That has been a lot more consistent, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that has been very consistent.
Because people are... The last one that I did...
I like a lot of the guests you've had on there, and even when you don't have the guests, but you just talk about certain things, it's pretty good.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
I like it a lot.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I like the diversity of the content, because it's not... Sometimes it's just like, oh, tell me about your book, whatever. That one of my favorites is, like, it was a 30-minute because the guy had to, like, fucking go.
Yeah.
I think it was Jonathan Hedrick. Oh man, that might be wrong. No, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But basically, he was just like, I got from 6:30 to 7 p.m. and I was like, bet, I got you.
Right.
Because I'm very much like, I'm very understanding of the the guests. Like, you got to do it in 30. We can do it in 30.
Right,
I can pare my questions down. I can pare my interruptions down.
Yeah.
But, like, this last one, like the one before, Zach and me went for a fucking minute. I think that was almost 3 hours.
Right.
And then was that me and Zach are cool, so, like, we could fucking talk for a while because it ended up being up being more of a tangents episode than just because we ended up talking about dating and all this other stuff. It's all kind of relative to the comic that he's putting out, but it was just kind of like
100%.
A lot of it, it went in a whole lot of different ways.
That's why I love our Tangents podcast, man.
Yeah, I want to bring more people on here for sure, because I think there's a lot more interesting conversations we could be having, especially with people who are, like, kind of used to sticking in the comic sphere.
Yeah.
I'd love to bring them on and be like, let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's just
talk.
Yeah, let's just
everything.
talk.
Everything's on the table.
Yeah.
Politics, religion, whatever you got.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck.
Well, this last episode that I recorded, which will be coming out this coming Thursday, which will be, let's say, the day before this podcast comes out. Give myself a week to put this out. I think that should be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be out. YouTube.com, or I'm sorry, bit.ly/panels on pages YT.
Oh.
I guess no. We do have the tags now. Those work. Isn't that funny? You used to have like 100 subscribers, and now you can set a tag at 0 subscribers.
Oh.
So now it's youtube.com/@ panels on pages.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, just like yours is youtube.com/@ full throttle auto.
Oh, well, there you go. Shit,
so you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. They
wasn't-
auto set it. If you didn't set it, they auto set it.
Right,
Although
right,
you gotta be careful because if you didn't,
yeah, they'll
if
set
you
it
didn't
to
set your
some-
own,
yeah.
it'll be like whatever 43691.
Right,
And I was like,
yeah,
that's not gonna work for me.
Yeah, no. I definitely set the full throttle auto on for sure.
But yeah, so I had Michael Dolce on, and Michael Dolce has been working on a comic book for 10 years now. Just finishing up the 12th issue, and it's kind of like gone through these various phases. It's a very interesting story. But then just completely unbeknownst to me, this man just whips out, I used to work at Wizard.
Oh.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about Wizard.
that had a hole. And, he was there for the downfall. Like, he was there to watch it get torn apart.
Yeah.
Basically. And he said, long story short, he ended up, when he ended up deciding to leave, he was like, I was walking in every day wondering if today was going to be the day I was laid off.
Oh, yeah.
And I just couldn't keep doing that, so
I
went and got a job somewhere else. I was like, that makes perfect sense, man.
Yeah. You can't keep walking on a job and like, well, am I going to get called in today to not have a job?
Yeah, nobody's trying to live like that.
No, that's
speaking of people who might not have a job soon.
Good transition. I like it.
Right?
I like it.
Solid. Jonathan Majors, allegations, nothing proven as
Nothing
of
proven. Yes, of course he's declining. Of course,
he's declining, and look, there is some interesting evidence pointing the other direction, pointing that he didn't do anything. I think a lot of people were very quick to judgment.
Always.
Here's the
Always
thing: there's a whole lot of people who were very, very quick to judgment. And they just wrote him off. I mean, like day one, they were like, "This guy's gonna lose his job. Who are they gonna recast?"
Oh, dude.
Like they were already asking, "Who are they gonna recast?"
I saw a quick I didn't read anything, but I saw a quick like a title or whatever, and it says like, Jonathan Majors publicist or something drops him or whatever, and I'm like,
he was dropped from his PR.
I was like, that was fucking fast. Holy
that's the thing.
Shit!
Somebody pointed out on TikTok the fact that like a PR agency whose job it is to clean up messes.
Yeah, literal PR.
And then they were like, nah, this is too much. We gotta bail. But then there's also the racism part of it, right? Like, would they be doing that if he was not a black man?
Oh, I don't know.
And it's because
I don't know who this agency is because we've had way worse people.
Yeah, Ezra Miller's still represented.
Yeah.
And look, I don't want to demean, domestic violence victims, but like Ezra Miller did some way worse shit than just like, I don't want to say just, but again, comparatively.
I get what you're saying.
Ezra Miller did some worse shit.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller still has.
But he still has a PR agency.
Yeah.
That didn't drop. But not even that. I mean, we've also had even athletes that are, and shit like that. But no, I know. But what I'm saying is like, but their PR shit didn't drop them.
Right.
Like you didn't hear about how their PR company fucking was like, we're out.
Right.
And they were caught red-handed, on video and shit. And
God, so many times.
Yeah. So.
So
it is interesting that his company decided to be like, this is too much. Like, who the fuck are you? Are you new to the industry? Because if this is too much, you ain't working in this industry.
And it's like the first things that his lawyer released, like the text messages that supposedly proved that he was innocent, were very, like, to me, I was like, oh, you're just digging his grave, bro. Like, this, you should not have released this. The public should not have seen it. Because it was like, and again, this is all supposed. Like I have not seen these text messages, and I do not know specifically that they came from the lawyer, but this is the reporting that I've read.
Right.
The reported messages say, I'm paraphrasing here, I'm gonna make sure you don't get in trouble. I told them that it wasn't your fault, that you didn't do anything, and it was probably my fault for trying to grab your phone. And I was like, no, that's not a good thing to show, because it doesn't matter if she's trying to grab his phone. That does not lead to violence. That does not lead to the alleged choking. Like strangulation is not the result of somebody trying to grab your phone.
Right.
Like so, like that's a bad move.
Is he on
like,
some steroids? You know, that guy got jacked.
No. But then, what I thought was really compelling evidence for him was that after this supposed attack, there is video footage of her just out on the town.
Right.
Supposedly he like broke her hand or something, or broke her finger.
Right. I did hear something about the footage. The footage looked perfectly fine.
She looked fine. She didn't look distressed. She just, and this was supposedly after they saw each other. So it's like, it's weird. It's weird, and that's why I
what's really weird
do not make up my fucking decisions until I see the fucking final results.
And like, you know, to play a little on the devil's advocate side of things, you know, there is the notion this motherfucker is blowing up right now, right? He's in Marvel. Creed did good. Like, if there's a time to fuck somebody over, it's right now.
Yep.
Like, this is the time to do it. So
I mean, I don't want to say Ezra Miller didn't do what they did, but they definitely. I mean,
Ezra Miller
they're
fucked shit up.
They're on camera.
Yeah, Ezra Miller. Like the fact that guy's still around or doing shit is crazy to me. It's insane.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna be mad when that movie's good, because so far that movie's according to all reviews, that movie is great, and I'm gonna be real mad when I see it on HBO Max, because I'm not fucking going to the theaters to see that.
Oh yeah, no.
And I'm gonna be mad when it's good, because if they didn't do what they did, we wouldn't even have to have the conversation of
true.
Like
100%. Yeah,
there would just be I would just be allowed to enjoy
a great movie. Yeah,
I would just be allowed to enjoy it.
But now it's like you gotta enjoy.
Tainted.
Yeah, it is tainted.
Same thing with Shazam. Like, he could have kept his fucking mouth shut. He doesn't believe in vaccines. I don't give a fuck. Like, just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and let me enjoy the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, like, somebody voicing their opinion on something like vaccines is whatever, but somebody fucking kidnapping
To be fair, I mean, granted, I didn't look deeper into it because I was kind of like, well, fuck them then, I don't care. But I also don't really follow celebrities at all.
Right.
But the post that I saw was somebody asked, like, do you think pharma is like the
yeah. He didn't come. He didn't.
Pfizer is the greatest threat to, like,
well,
national
that's the other thing. He didn't just come out.
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't just come out and be like, "Oh, by the way, guys, vaccines are shit or they're not real." No. He anytime he
said Pfizer specifically.
Anytime he gets quoted something, it's always because he got asked a question and he replied to it, because he does a bunch of live streams and stuff. And so, of course, you know, news reporter or
this was a tweet. Like he like responded to a tweet.
Well, right, but he's being directly asked questions, so he replies, right? So he doesn't go out of his way to be like, "Hey, by the way, everybody, I'm a celebrity," and
him. It was just like somebody just posted like a question so that people would talk.
Oh, okay.
And he responded to it,
okay,
and then
whatever.
he doubled down on it by posting some stuff about. And it's like, look, do I think Pfizer's like the fucking savior? No, but like, do I think they're the greatest threat to national security? It's a little extreme. I think Russia is probably our greatest threat to national security right now.
I would probably agree. China,
Russia. You know, there's. I feel like there's a couple people ahead of Pfizer.
Yeah.
Pfizer's maybe top 20.
Yeah. Like, for sure. But like, I mean, listen. Still, like I said, to me that doesn't bother me. Somebody answering a question because it was asked publicly in a general. Like, it wasn't for a specific person, it was just anybody reply. Right. Whatever, you asked and you replied, so it doesn't matter. If you don't agree with his opinion, you don't agree with his opinion. That's not the same thing as kidnapping and abuse, right. Or not just abuse, but grooming, all that.
Like assault, like busting into somebody's fucking house or hotel room or something.
Breaking, entering.
Too many fucking things, and that's why I'm mad about it, because like the Flash on paper is everything I want in a fucking comic book movie. It's fucking multiverse shenanigans.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
Cameo, all of the fucking fun shit I want.
Yeah.
And then it's tainted by the fact that they did all that shit.
So going back to Jonathan Majors.
I hope.
I don't know, man. I mean,
think he's done a great job as Kang. Did you watch Quantumania?
No.
Is it on Disney Plus now? I thought it was on Disney Plus.
Pretty sure it's not.
It's not still in theaters.
I don't know. Maybe it is on Disney Plus.
Well, he did a great job in that.
Well, I mean, he did a great job in Loki.
Yeah, he did a great job in Loki for sure. It's funny though because you could see that Quantumania was filmed around the same time he was bulking up for Creed because he's way more swole in Quantumania than he was in.
Is he?
In Loki, yeah, way more swole. Yeah. But like it makes sense. Like honestly, it was a very fun movie, and his role in it was perfect, and then the like setup and everything else around that.
Right.
Like, I really think they did a good job. Like, yeah, I mean, there's people nitpicking shit, but like people are gonna nitpick shit.
People would nitpick.
But like, generally speaking, it was a very fun movie.
Comparatively,
it was not a great movie
compared
but like,
to.
I would throw a solid 7.5, 8 on that.
Compared to Doctor Strange 2 and Thor, Love and Thunder.
I think it's more entertaining than Thor. I think it's more entertaining than Doctor Strange because Multiverse Madness wasn't very entertaining.
Especially when the story takes you out of it.
Yeah, it was like a little too dramatic, which worked against the nature of the like we're jumping through fucking universes.
Right,
and in one universe we were cartoons.
Right.
Like none of that shit was addressed.
Yeah.
It was like we did this thing for 30 seconds and now we're just in one more New York.
Right.
Like I didn't love it.
No,
I didn't love it.
No. Yeah, Sam Raimi should never touch a Marvel property again.
Like if they should have given, you know what they should have done?
Let me rephrase
They
that.
should have given like Moon Knight to Sam Raimi, or they should have given like
Moonlight.
Blade to Sam Raimi.
Maybe I don't. Here's the thing, maybe because you know what, that motherfucker clearly doesn't want to like. He wants cliff notes. He doesn't want to.
Well, granted, like Moon Knight was pretty much outside of everything, right?
Well, I understand that, but still, like, what if he like never read the story? He's like, give him cliff notes on the comic. Because that's essentially where it feels like he would just go for. Like Sam Raimi had a universe to watch. He didn't have to read shit. No, he could just watch the entire goddamn universe before he went into directing this movie, and he couldn't even do that. So I don't trust that he would have read any goddamn comics of Moon Knight and then released. I think Moon Knight was fantastic. Are we not getting a season 2? Because what the hell's happened to that show?
What do you mean?
I mean, it's been over a year since season 1.
Yeah, dude, they're not gonna do it. So like what we got for 2 years, we're not gonna get ever again.
No, that's
unfortunate. They like blew way too big of a fucking load, and it was just way too much shit back to back.
Yeah, that's too unfortunate because
I mean, I don't get me wrong, I would watch a new Marvel show every single week for the rest of eternity. Absolutely,
as long as it's done well.
Yeah, absolutely, I would. Yeah. Hey, I'll be honest with you. Even if it wasn't done well, I'd probably watch it because I'm that guy.
Yeah, I'm not that.
You know, if it was X-Men,
you know me,
you'd pretty much have my time.
You know me, because at some point, I just stop. Like to me, it's not.
It would like look if it was X-Men, it would have to be exceptionally bad for me not to watch it.
Right.
Like if they were like, here's a fucking New Mutants series, and it's like all fucking kids who like are just starting out acting, I would forgive all of them.
Right.
I wouldn't care. I'd be like, cool, they have mutant powers, let's go.
Right.
Well, I mean, we hired some random YouTube crew to fucking do the special effects, but I don't care.
Yeah,
it's X-Men.
I feel you.
Like, it's X-Men.
You know me, I'm a little more specific on that.
I'm just for me, it's like I know where the low bar is.
Right.
And he like.
Well, me too. I mean, we both agree.
It's like there are certain shit that I'm going to watch regardless.
Right.
But like the fact that the MCU is in charge of Fantastic Four now definitely gives me a lot more hope. Yeah. Because the last Fantastic Four, like if Fox had kept the rights, like if Fox had maintained the power and they started to do another Fantastic Four movie, I would wait like 2 months to go watch it.
Right.
And I wouldn't probably even go see it in theaters because of what happened with the last one. I couldn't because like the amount of like studio interference that just broke that fucking movie.
But Fox, they have that. That's what they do. They've done it with X-Men. They've done it. Yeah, that's their thing. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, bitches.
Not anymore, bitches. Not anymore. But no, like Marvel, I would definitely. But at the same time, like, I think they just don't want to be speeding up the plot that fast because they're going to run into, oh shit, we're still filming something that needs to come out in 6 months.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Or like right now they're making these deals with Sony. I feel like they're trying to slowly work the the Spider-Man buyout.
Right.
And God, if they bought out Sony in general, it'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
So, like, if Sony Films were just bought out by someone,
I honest to God, I think that's where they would get cut off. Because here's the thing: yes, they had Lucas, and yes, they had.
No. I mean, I just mean if Apple buys them or something.
Well, no, yeah. But I'm like, but Disney wouldn't get it.
No,
Disney wouldn't get it because
they should absolutely
the government definitely would step in then.
But they should absolutely buy DC Comics.
They should, yeah, 100%.
DC
Comics, that doesn't matter.
DC Entertainment.
Yeah. If one company is doing all the comic book stuff, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, and then we would get like a reasonable timeline.
Because here's what would happen. Kevin Feige would get another him or clone himself, and then he would run that division.
Right. It's like we're on the same page, right?
Yeah,
Disney has cloning technology.
Oh yeah.
By the way, the crazy. By the way, the absolute craziest fucking moment of my life happened the other day. I was on TikTok and I swipe up and I see a video of a woman talking about we need to tax the rich need to pay their fair share, right? She's going, and like, oh, she's doing all the, she's saying all the right shit, and then I catch the name on the bottom, and it's Disney. A Disney is saying that the rich need to pay their fair, and I was just like,
well, here's the thing.
This is incredible.
Here's the thing. We tax the rich. They just have many ways to get out of that.
The thing she was saying is that all income should be treated the same, whether it's from fucking dividends, whether it's from fucking capital gains, or whether it's capital gains or whether it's
because then income. They don't have an out.
So then they don't have an out. And I was just like, and this bitch is the rich bitch. Like she's got money.
Right.
So like,
well, yeah. I mean, Buffett said the same thing. He said, "Figure out to tax me because it's a sad day when my assistant pays more taxes than I do."
Yeah, I was just like, I saw that and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
A Disney, like of the people to say that.
Yeah. But the problem isn't
now they're talking about they're going to move Disney. How do you feel about that?
I don't care.
There's like rumors that they're trying to move it because of what DeSantis is doing.
Yeah. Fuck around too much, DeSantis, and you use your biggest money maker.
Bro, if they move Disney.
Let me tell you this. I hope they do move. Yeah. Because you know why? Then this tells motherfuckers to stop fucking around. Because that's literally what it does.
Here's the thing.
That's literally what it does. It puts a fucking period into your I'm gonna go fuck around and you're gonna be like, no, you ain't, bitch. Peace.
Here's the thing. I don't there's a part of me that is very much like tax the rich, fuck the corporations, right? But I'm not gonna lie. For years, every time that someone would try to fucking go up against Microsoft when they were trying to like buy too much shit and they're a monopoly, blah blah blah, and Microsoft would be like, we could move to Canada, and then the government's like, nah, we're just playing, bro. What's a monopoly? You're crazy. You're crazy. Don't do that.
We actually mixed you up with a different company.
But DeSantis is like, try me, bitch.
No, yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna tax you to death.
Yeah, and then they're like,
and then Disney's like, then we'll move, bitch.
Then we'll move, bitch. There's plenty other states in this country.
Oh my god, dude! If they moved, first of all,
the
amount of money that would be brought in just in the construction space.
Oh yeah.
Because they're talking about, like, somebody brought up North Carolina, I guess. But let's say it's North Carolina. If they brought in that much, like, because that's like fucking tens of acres.
Yeah.
It's like 30 fucking acres.
Yeah.
Maybe more. But like
more.
Like hundreds of acres, let's say. Hundreds of acres of space. And now they get to plan it with modern technology from the ground up.
Oh, dude.
They're going to buy 1,000 acres. They're going to buy 10,000 acres. They're going to buy every piece of land they can. Half of fucking North Carolina is going to turn out to be Disney property. And they're going to fucking build their fucking place where you can live, the like apartments and shit that they were talking about.
You weren't even close. 25 1,000 acres, homie.
Okay, cool. So then they'll get.
That's an island.
So then, right, that's what I'm saying. So then they'll get hundreds of thousands of acres.
Dude, fuck North Carolina. They literally just build a world on an island. What are you doing at this point? Like, just build your own island. Literally, it would be the real life Jurassic Park, but it would be
But they need the support of governments. They need the support of governments, and they need it to be accessible by land. That's what saves people a lot of money.
I get it. That's fine. I'm just saying DeSantis is not. Listen, you lose Disney.
He ain't. No, if you lose Disney, like, ain't nobody in Florida voting for him.
Bro.
Nobody in Florida is voting for him.
Because you know how fucked Florida is? Like, I know everybody's going to be like...
Because he's fucking all their shit up right now. Because like, they're fucking with their, like, property values. They're fucking with their property taxes.
Oh, they're fucking up.
This is all a smokescreen.
No,
for all the bullshit he's doing to his own people.
No, I get that. But, like, they don't care. That's the thing.
No. They care, but they think this is more important. Because that's the message he's selling.
Yeah. But it would be... Could you, like, I know people are going to say, like, well, Florida's bigger than Disney World. Yeah, but when they own 25,000 acres of your land and they bring in countless, I couldn't even imagine the number they bring in.
The amount of tax dollars I can't even consider.
Florida's not bigger than Disney World.
That they pay for. I mean, like, shit, you know, let's say both of ours, about 10 grand a year property tax.
Yeah.
For our half, quarter, eighth acre, like inconceivably small, comparatively.
Yeah,
10 grand a year.
Yeah,
25,000 acres.
Yeah, like
just the property tax.
Even if they're getting a cut on that, like, it doesn't matter. The price on that alone. That's not even including the thousands of fucking people that come in monthly that spend money in Florida.
Tolls
to go to Disney.
Just in tolls. It costs money to get from the airport. I was talking.
Florida might be
one of my coworkers.
Bigger than Disney World because it's Florida, but Disney World makes Florida.
Nah,
you lose Disney World, you guys are fucked.
It's very silly to try to fuck with that. What a weird power play to try to make a name for yourself.
Hey, but he's going to run for president.
Hey, he's going to lose for president.
I don't know, man.
If he loses the Florida vote, he's not even going to make it past the primaries.
I hope that's true.
If
he
forces Disney to leave the state, by the time the primaries hit, he will have the least votes in Florida.
I hope so. I really hope so.
It will be a mess.
I hope people can realize how
they will vote for Trump just to fuck him up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it's not going to be about supporting anyone. It's going to be fuck him.
Yeah. Listen, going back to Jonathan Majors. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're like, people are like, you know, is he gone? Like, we don't know the whole story yet. So him being prematurely ejected out of Disney,
the only thing, because he's not even going to be in anything
for a while
until maybe the Marvels.
Because he's the big bad, right? He's the
2025.
Right.
But like maybe the Marvels.
Right.
Maybe Guardians.
Yeah.
Like a cameo.
Yeah.
But I even kind of doubt
you
that.
You don't eject them until you have the full fucking story, and even dead. It's a job, motherfucker. Like, at the end of the day, like, yes, it's a public job. He is in the public eye, but it's still a job. Like, he pays his fucking dues. If, you know, whatever he's got to fucking do to reconcile for what he did, and, like, not saying that that's going to be easily done, like, with just money and I'm sorry.
Sure, but I don't know that Disney will want that.
No, of course. I mean, obviously, the world we live in, we can't accept somebody being, paying their dues for what they have done, type of deal, right?
Yeah. No one actually believes in what's the term? Well, you know, paying for your crimes and then rehabilitation. People don't actually believe that criminals can be rehabilitated.
Right,
so like the supposed purpose of prisons is bullshit because people
100%.
Don't believe that
100%.
That's possible.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
and I'm not. By the way, like if he truly, like, if he ends up.
Oh my God, I just fucking had a fucking flashback to a meme because that that's funny. So a meme on TikTok right now is like women like making fun of like alpha bro podcasts. So like they record themselves as the alpha bro podcast, but like from the woman's perspective, but doing the same shit. And then it's like 100%, yeah. Like people don't even know, people don't even understand. Like, and that's the shit. Like, it's like saying
no, for sure, 100%. Yeah,
yeah. So like you said that like twice. I was like, oh my god, we are them.
I mean,
we're not, but it's funny as shit.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But you can't. I don't know. You can't just blindly be like, oh, it's done, it's over with. Like you don't know. We don't know all the information. Yeah, we can get mad that there's potential that he's done this, but we don't have all the information. Also, at the same time, like, what is the accuser looking for, right? Let's say they want something, right? What like if he appeals to what they want, like if he says, yes, I did it, I fucked up, I will pay my dues, I will do all this. Do we still kick him out? Does he still get the fuck out? If he takes ownership.
Because if she's saying, but if she's saying that she's not filing charges.
Right.
They can't file charges for her.
Nobody can. She's the only one that can file the charge.
Yeah, I don't believe so. Because I think only in a murder case can like
Correct.
the city or the state.
Yes. Because then you don't have that, You don't
have the agency.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, but I don't know. It could be the city of New York or state of New York might be different rules or whatever.
Yeah, maybe, but from what I'm aware, unless
the problem is not necessarily in the crime itself and the resolution of that. It's in the execution of the social justice, right?
Right.
It's what happened with elongated man from The Flash.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Only his bullshit was.
Obviously not the same.
Yeah,
but, his was some fucking edgy
shit that
humor.
He was trying to get his name out by doing edgy shit.
It was dumb shit.
And it was 10, 12, 15, I don't even fucking know how many, stupid long time ago.
And
yeah.
But here's the thing, it also kind of called into conversation the shit that I talk about all the time is like people, like when people gave Mr. Beast a bunch of shit for doing charity, but then
it's like,
but then when
like
people
if he was really charitable, he wouldn't make videos about this.
But then when people are like Gary Vee, who doesn't talk about a lot of the charitable shit he does, like he didn't for years, and then people just kept bitching like, well, if you got so much money, why don't you? Right, but he was like, I mean, I'm on the board of Charity Water, like I donate to Charity Water, I donate to a bunch of different charities, but like that's not what my content is, that's not what my shit is. But it's like if you don't prove it, they don't believe that you're doing it.
But if you show it, it's too much.
It's too much. You're taking advantage. And so it's like that's what I'm saying is with that guy in particular, the elongated man. He's like, I've been working on myself, and like the shit that I said back then is, not who I am, and like I've been working with myself and supporting organizations, to like essentially as like a penance for that. But it's like, people don't care about it.
Yeah.
Because it's
so
like,
what?
Exactly. So what? Like I said, it's people don't believe in the ability of people to grow, and it's kind of crazy to me because it's like talk about like people don't like people growing and becoming better, but like no one fucking believes that because we hold these like hypothetical imaginary fucking standards to people, and it's like, oh, you did something 10, 15 years ago. That's not who I am anymore.
Right.
It's just not.
People can't. Like, people listen. Do all humans change? No.
Sure, yeah.
But humans do actually look back at shit they've done.
People can evolve.
And they're like, oh, fuck, maybe that wasn't smart back then, but I'm glad I've changed since then.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Because I don't do that shit anymore. Like, just because somebody does some shit sometimes a long ass time ago doesn't mean they didn't actually change over the years. Just because you haven't, noticed it or seen it or,
I always bring this up because this is one of my favorite Yeah, this is one of my favorite Jay-Z lyrics ever because it like perfectly encapsulates this conversation. No matter where you are, no matter where you go, you are who you are, player. And you can try to change, but that's just the top layer. Man, you was who you was before you got here. If you are a good person, you can evolve and not do bad shit.
Right.
Right? You can stop doing bad shit. Like if you do dumb shit, like for years, you remember this, for years I would argue with people for my freedom to say the N-word.
Right.
I have been educated. I understand the
educated by a friend of ours too.
Multiple
people, but it really, that was
the first time I was challenged in a honest fashion. Was just someone asked me, "Why do you feel the need to say that?"
Right.
And that was the first time I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Like, why do I feel the need to say that? And I explained my positioning, my reasoning, and he was just like, "Well, there are other ways to express that." And then I was like, all right, well then I won't say it to people publicly, but I was still using it in music and singing along to shit.
Yeah.
And then I watched a video where somebody was explaining it it's not a different word. And I was like, oh shit, what do you mean? And it's it's not that, it's the version with the A or the ER. It's that in AAVE, the ER just becomes the A.
Right.
It's the same word, essentially in a different dialect.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, cool. And now I don't fucking even use it with music.
Right.
Because now I'm like, well, shit. That's not what I want to be. That's not. Right. But this is that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to and I moved on. Right. I have evolved in my behavior.
But I will say,
and I think that's possible because I was essentially a good person to begin with.
Well, of
my
course,
intention was not harmful. My intention was always positive. My execution was bad.
Yeah.
And that's that top layer.
Sure,
right? We can change what we do. Yeah, but it's like I'm a fucking glutton. That's hard to change.
Right. Yeah.
My behavior can change, but I'm always gonna want to fucking eat.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I could get the best support and the best, but end of the day, even if I was super rich and had a fucking private chef who could feed me precise fucking portions and a fucking trainer who took me to the fucking gym by force every day, and I got to perfect fucking body composition that I want, I would still look at a pizza and be like, I fucking smashed that whole motherfucker.
I will say there is something when I got in a really good shape, there is something to be said that if you work on it and you continue to work on it, at some point you actually can look at that stuff and be like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. But you would have to be constantly working on it and not let yourself get back to the point.
Yeah, it's an active thing.
Yeah,
it's not something. Well, that's what I'm saying.
But naturally, yes,
your
I want to devour.
Inclination is
I
want that flavor. Yeah. I was telling Erica the other day, we were eating something, and I think it was one of our roasts that we had, and we had made leftovers for dinner, and I had some of the sauce in the bottom, and I was like, oh man, I wish I had a little bit of bread to fucking soak that up, right? And then I sat in that moment while she finished her food. She was like, just grab a fucking piece of, 5 minutes later, I said the same thing again. Because she had licked her plate clean. And I was like, damn. And she was like, well, you could lick yours clean. I'm like, it's like juice. I'm not going to drink the fucking juice at the bottom of my plate. I'm like, if there was, like I said earlier, if there had been bread, I would have soaked the bread in it, eaten bread.
Right, of course.
And she was like, well, the fucking bread's in the fridge. Just grab some bread. And I was like, the moment's passed. It's about continuing the flavor experience. It's not about eating as much shit as I physically can. I love when it's a good flavor.
Yeah.
I want to have that flavor as much as possible, as long as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why for me, I think the number one thing is portion control.
Yeah.
Because if I can get something to be really tasty and I can limit my portion intake.
Yeah, absolutely. Portion control is definitely huge.
Because if it tastes shitty, I'm not going to want to eat it anyways. Yeah. That's not the point. Right?
Of course.
It's unless I'm I'm not gonna lie, there have been times where I've been really depressed and I would just fucking eat whatever is available.
See?
And there was one time where I was really fucking craving chocolate. And I was like, oh, Erica's got this ice cream in the fridge. And I fucking ate this ice cream. I took 2 scoops or whatever. And it was mint. And I was so fucking mad because I hate mint so bad.
Yeah, I'm not
But it was it was just enough chocolate where it was satisfying it, but I hated myself the whole fucking time. And she came home, she was like, it's like, why'd you eat my ice cream? I was like, I'm fucking mad that I did. Like, I shouldn't have. I was mad about that shit for like weeks.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, at the end of the day, we can't just jump to crazy conclusions. We have to see how everything plays out.
Yeah.
And kind of go from there. I mean, especially if the accuser is like, I'm not even pressing charge. Like, it's just something that happened.
That's the thing.
Like, I mean, yes, you have to hold him accountable for his shitty choices. But the only person that can, like, you're not the one holding him accountable. The only person that can hold him accountable is the person that he did it to.
Yeah.
Like, you're nobody. Like, just because you want to be like, it goes back to the comedy stuff that we've recently been, watching. It's like with Matt Rife. Like, motherfuckers getting mad for other people, even though the other people aren't getting mad.
Yep.
Like, you are nobody. Like, you getting mad and then making somebody, I don't know, feel like shit or losing their job because you got offended, but that's the real
or
in
thing,
this
right?
situation, like, yeah, maybe something did happen between them, but like, she didn't feel it was enough to, she didn't feel like I need to press any kind of charge. Like, this shit happened. It was a fucked up situation, and we just need to move.
And it's like people are like, oh, like, that's like, well, like, victims try to take the blame and blah blah blah, and like, if it's like a abusive thing, like they're trying to like explain away her statements.
Right, sure.
And it's like
maybe it's
end of the day.
Yeah.
Nobody was in that room besides them two.
Correct, 100%. Unless you have video and audio footage.
So all we can do is go off the words they say.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's saying, supposedly, I don't think he's actually been saying anything. I think his lawyer's been speaking for him.
Sure.
But according to his lawyer, he maintains his innocence. He didn't do anything wrong. So, I believe our system, in theory, is still innocent until proven guilty.
No, it's not. It used to be, but no longer is that the case.
I know in the court of social justice, that is
you are guilty
the reverse.
Until proven, yes.
And even if you were proven innocent, you're
still guilty.
Yeah,
you're still guilty. Even though you didn't do remotely anything near what they said, you're still guilty.
It's funny too because a lot of people were bringing up the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation as like a comparison, and it's like, this is not the same.
But that
fine. Whole situation, like we heard the audio, like that whole situation was fucked.
But let me tell you right now, at the end of the day, you could say it's similar. But at the end of the day, it was them two in a relationship where 90% of the time, we don't know what happened. Right. The little bits of audio that we've seen or text messages that we've read out, means nothing.
Right.
They've had years of relationship.
There's that too.
That the fucking, and if, from my outside perspective of seeing what the fuck happened, it was just a bad relationship.
Yeah.
And I've seen plenty of those in my life.
Right.
Ain't nobody going, ain't no justice warriors going after the shit that I've seen in my life.
Right.
So get the fuck off of it. Just because they're celebrities doesn't mean they can't have shit relationships that they don't know how to get the fuck out of.
Right.
You're nobody. Stop fucking. It's getting taken care of. It'll get figured out one way or another. Like, yes, if somebody gets away with murder, yeah, we go after them, right? We figure out how to fucking get eyeballs on that murderer so we can make sure they get the right sentencing. But like, if the person that supposedly is the accuser, but at the same time not pressing charges, there's got to be a reason for that. And you getting upset and thinking that you're going to explain what that accuser is feeling or what, like, you don't know.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
The same way that people stand up for marginalized groups without those marginalized groups asking for them to.
Yeah.
And then like saying, oh, what they're feeling this, they're feeling that, they're feeling, you don't fucking know.
Did
that.
you sit down and actually have an honest conversation with that person? Because you don't know shit.
They can also speak for themselves.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's like, look, I don't want to generalize things, but white women got to stop doing this shit.
I mean,
statistically speaking, that is in my experience.
I mean, going off of stats, all right? Going off of stats.
In my experience,
in that experience.
The majority of the perpetrators of this sort of behavior.
Let's move on. We spoke to Clint about this.
Speaking of getting away with murder, I was like a few sentences back. I was kind of hoping you were going to stop there. That I was like, oh, that's a great fucking pivot. So I was watching Donut Media today, and for a long time, because I always thought, I was like, oh, because they invented electric cars first, right? But electric cars technically were first.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, why didn't fucking electric cars go out, right? And actually, I didn't even realize this.
Well, there's a lot of arguments out there that it's the oil industry. They didn't allow it.
Right, and that was my thought too, right? But it wasn't. Here's what happened. This is according to how the information was presented on Donut. Sure. Jay Leno was on it, by the way. You should watch the episode. It's great.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
So they took out his I forget what the brand was, but it was like this old ass EV. Like straight up EV. Like it's got a battery and everything, but apparently it took like up to 48 hours to charge the battery. So that's an insane fucking. But like people didn't drive, regardless. 60 to 80 miles of range, which like the fact that was that much range back then, crazy. To me.
That is crazy.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And the other factor that made them popular, because there were like thousands of them registered. Thousands. And I was like, that's crazy. I didn't think that they got that big at that era. Like I thought that a couple were made and then the fucking oil industry just squashed the project, right? But that's not at all what happened.
No.
What was happening is this was the era when you had the fucking crank starters, right?
Yep.
So this was like people would injure themselves with the crank starter because people would be positioned. Some people would.
No, it wasn't.
One dude apparently, this is the fucking craziest thing because this is like how far medicine and cars have come. So you had to do the crank start, and this dude punched himself, busted his lip open, and got to the hospital and died of like some sort of infection in the blood because they couldn't deal with that.
Yeah.
So like that's how crazy the fucking world was,
yeah.
right? So it's like this thing, like technically you should be able to take a punch in the face, but like the fucking all the circumstances around it, but like no antibiotics at the time. Crazy to me, like fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So people were getting injured all the time. People were dying. People would like lose clothing. Their shit would just like get wrapped up in the fucking thing. So there was a whole like danger thing to that.
Yep.
So that made these electric cars really popular, especially for city dwellers, right? They don't need to go far.
Right.
Which makes perfect sense to me. And then a fucking dude dies by the crank starter, and his best friend, or his friend or best friend, whatever, is the fucking head of Cadillac. And this dude died because of a Cadillac. And this dude goes to this company, they said the full name, but then they're like, Delco. And I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, that it's that, I didn't know it was that old. Basically told them, like, fucking make me an electric starter. Like, I'm done with this. Like, no more fucking people are going to die from Cadillacs. We need to fucking squash this. Right. And so basically within a few years, because of the way much farther range of gas cars,
right,
once they introduced the electric starter,
it was game over.
Game over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. Yeah. So they were saying,
but the conspiracy theory is gas.
Yeah. But it's just like, so, and what they brought up, and Jay even brought it up, was that we could be in that same spot now, right? Because right now, like, yeah, we get range, but it's like there's other factors that kind of like the price point. Because even back then, like comparatively, people were like, I think it was like a $2,700 car, which like in today money is like $82,000, right. Which is expensive fucking car. Yeah. So like right now, the biggest hurdle to electric cars, they're really fucking expensive still. Right. Like there's no $20,000 electric car, right? But you could buy a $20,000 gas car, right? So Jay was saying, if somebody comes up with a fucking like revolutionary fuel that runs on some dirt or some whatever the fuck, like some shit that we have plenty of, like we're starting, like we're back at square zero.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's true. I'm like, we might see within our lifetimes, if somebody comes through with like a synthetic fuel that burns clean, in our lifetime, we could see the rise and fall
of
electric cars, which is nuts to me.
I'd love to see it. Well,
I wouldn't be mad about it. Here's
the thing.
Like for me, it's all about like a long-term environmental impact, right?
100%.
If it turns out to be synthetic fuel, I'm down for it. Yeah. Like I don't give a shit.
Absolutely.
And then that gives us a little more fun, a little rev, a little engine.
Yeah, little engine stuff,
Don't get me wrong, like I like cruising, like I turn down on the street off of the main street down there.
Yeah, yeah.
I can come all the way here on electric. It's cool. It's quiet.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Like if it's a nice day, I can just enjoy the neighborhood. Usually I'm banging my music anyways. So it's not that
right.
Like,
exactly.
But like, it's like, it cost me less gas. Right. But like, if the fuel source was, I don't know, my fucking compost heap.
Right.
I don't fucking have to do that. I don't have to worry about that.
Right. Exactly.
I don't need a hybrid. I don't need like, and you brought up an interesting point. Like there is a difference in handling emergency situations, right? Granted, that was a very extreme case, but like,
well, that one was, yeah, sure, of course,
but like, there have been situations,
absolutely,
absolutely. with Teslas and other electric vehicles.
I mean, Tesla has a whole like safety thing for their fires, for battery fires. Like in that article, in one of the links that I send you, like it says that like Tesla actually has a whole safety advisement about how to take care of battery fires and what all the precautions you have to do.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like I watched what's his face, Rich Rebuilds. They built like a side by side.
Yeah.
I feel like those have different names.
No, they're side by sides.
That's a weird.
I know for the longest time.
It's like an ATV, but it's a side by side. Is that where that's going?
It's because you're still technically like you're side by side with somebody else. Like it's a vehicle, it's a car. Like, but it's not a car. But you're side by side.
It's like an ATV that has 2 seats.
2 seats, steering wheel, like a car.
Interesting.
All that, yeah.
I don't know. I like when they were saying it, when they were doing that video, I was like, that's such a stupid name. Anyway,
that's just what they're known
so
as.
they built one, and their original battery, because they took it to, I'm going to say SEMA, but it's probably not that. They took it to some sort of show where I think it was about building a car, potentially building an electric car. And they had so apparently some dude recorded them and there was smoke coming from the battery. And they like pushed it out the spot, right? And they let it go out and there was a whole procedure, right?
Yeah.
It was a very long process.
Yeah.
And this dude was basically like talking about how like dangerous it is. But it was like, the reason it was doing that is because there was a chemical failure.
Right.
It produced the smoke to alert you that there is a problem,
right?
So that you shouldn't fucking turn the engine on. And then they took it outside, and it's funny because then they were like, "Well, you didn't do anything to fucking help. You were sitting there with your fucking phone,
right?
Like you're talking a lot of shit,
yeah.
But like you didn't push, you didn't help push this motherfucker. So it was just funny, interesting from that perspective. But then it was like, yeah, they had this whole thing, like process of resolving the whole battery situation, and then they finally eventually replaced the battery, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, that sucks, and those like additional hurdles, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking problem.
That's a big problem, huge problem.
Especially like if in an emergency situation, like you don't have the time to let some shit fucking burn out.
Well, I mean, like one of the biggest and most shittier situations that could always fall against is going to be accidents.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You have an accident, like it doesn't matter if you hit a wall, you hit another car, the likelihood of those batteries going on fire is very high because you just caused a huge impact, and I'm sure some kind of chemical fucking imbalance or whatever. And as soon as they ignite, then you have a problem.
I don't know. There's a higher chance of. I mean, in a catastrophic accident, like with a fucking frame bends up and shit, like some heavy.
Yeah, I'm talking about an accident. I'm not talking about like you touched the wall.
No. But I'm saying like I've seen some Teslas that have taken some pretty fucking severe front end collisions.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about it's going to happen all the time.
Touched.
Sure, I mean cars can also go on fire because fuel is combustible, but they don't always go on fire.
Right.
You know, yeah, of course, but
I don't necessarily think it's a higher likelihood. I just think it is because it is a different procedure. Like it is a more involved process of dealing with it.
Well, it's not only
it just turns into a more dangerous situation because like having to deal with a fire longer just introduces
100%
more possibilities.
But there's that, but then there's also the fact that it can recombust again. like after you think you put it out, it can actually
it could potentially hit a new cell or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot more yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it becomes a much more complicated situation. So yeah, for me, if suddenly they were like, oh, fucking, I don't know, use doo doo.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, listen.
Like, I don't really care what
I do feel. Listen, but that's the problem, right? It comes down to politics and comes down to laziness, right? So the lazy aspect is like, oh, we can only focus on one thing, so let's focus on batteries instead of also figuring out how to save combustion engines with synthetic fuels or whatever.
That's the thing, right? And that's potentially, it's like, right? It's politics because
because you're trying to appease, everybody that's fighting for a greener Earth, and Well,
I mean, we're trying to prevent.
Oh, of course, 100%. But there are also, but there are also extremists that are going insane, like they're fucking losing their goddamn mind. Stop using oil, and they're fucking.
It's not even about that. I'm just saying, like, they need to. Like, there needs to be more research across the board.
100%.
100%. It is weird that all of these companies are like going, at least for their cars and SUVs,
straight to electric,
and like, I mean, I guess there's nothing preventing it from a very fiscal perspective. It makes sense, right? Hey, we make a bunch of batteries. Essentially, we're using the same base platform. We can just put a different body on it.
Yeah.
I get it, but at the same time, while they're doing that, and they can just like streamline that process and make that as efficient and as profitable as possible.
Right.
Then their R&D is like, all right, what are we doing as far as new fuel source? Because guess what? If let's say they kill I don't want to go with Dodge because I really don't like Dodge. So let's say
hold on.
They kill off the Corvette, right? So they kill off the Corvette. Okay. No more Corvette, but they have the electric cars.
Right.
But then on the R&D side, they're like, boom, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years down the line, they whip out a brand new Corvette combustion engine with a synthetic fuel that they've developed and perfected. How fucking hot does that sell? How fucking hot does the 2040 brand new Corvette running on synthetic fuel, doing 0 to 60 in 4 seconds or whatever the fuck?
Well, but that's the thing, right? A lot of these companies are like, this is it. We're going to electric by this year. But like, here's what's funny, right? So Dodge released their new electric Charger. I think they're calling it the Charger. So it's going to be a 2-door or 4-door option.
No shit.
And,
I gotta see this.
But here's what's funny. So there was recent rumor. There was a recent rumor. They were like, "Oh, somebody slipped." So yeah, so that
looks like a Challenger.
Yeah, but they're going to now call it a Charger because the Charger name works for both. It works for the electric part, but then it can be both a 4-door and a coupe because it was in the pack in the past as well. But here's what's funny. So there was a recent leak that the higher ups in Dodge or Chrysler or whatever, that they're going to also, because now they have a inline 6 engine that has a turbo, and they're going to put that also in the Charger, so it's not going to be only available in electric. I have
so it's like a hybrid?
No. It'll be just, instead of not having the V8 anymore, they'll have an inline 6 turbo.
Oh, I see.
So I have a source. You could potentially say.
That's kind of fire. I'm not.
Listen, you could potentially say I have a source that I know that rumor, that leak, is true.
Oh.
I'm just gonna say, but.
D.
But I cannot confirm nor deny any other questions from here on out. But.
Hot news, motherfuckers.
But like at the end of the day, like they were so when they were showing off the car, they were like electric. Bullshit, motherfucker! You had this whole time you were gonna do combustion, whether you like it or not, because the people that bought your Chargers and your Challengers, most of those motherfuckers don't give a shit about electric.
You, bro, that is gorgeous.
No, it's great looking. It was hilarious though. They had it demonstrated in. They were like, check out this sound that it'll make, and everybody was like, no, homie, no, you're not selling us to an electric charger with sound.
They didn't do speakers, did they?
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Fake
so
sound.
stupid.
Yeah. I was like, you're not, homie.
That's
you're not selling.
sales
You're
pitch,
not.
bro.
You're not selling this to the motherfuckers that want. They want a V8 or combustion by saying we're gonna toss in these speakers.
I like
and throw
the interior LED.
Yeah, it's a great look. And here's the thing: the only thing I will say to me, companies are doing this nowadays.
I like the tail end. What's the new logo though? This little triangle thing.
I forgot, but there are so like the problem with these companies lately is the interior. They're just doing 2 screens and they're being lazy and there's no actual dash. It's just 2 fucking screens. They kind of did that. They do still have like the dash coming on top of it, but there's no actual gauge cluster. It's just a screen, and then the dash is slightly there. Like the new Ford Mustang is literally radio screen attached to your regular screen. There's no gauge cluster or dash. Like the dash is there.
I mean, there's not going to be analog gauge clusters. There's no point.
But you don't. But you can still have a cool looking gauge cluster that's incorporating the dash instead of just a screen sitting there. That's fucking literally the. Like it's literally a child. Nailed it. Millions. Give them millions.
I understand what you're saying, but from a practicality standpoint, like having a custom designed, custom shaped LCD screen or LED screen, that's expensive.
No, because we've been doing it. And also as well, even if it is expensive, we could have done flat shit all the time, but everybody knows the design is fucking weak and lazy. Cars are about to fucking, listen, yes, to normal folks, they don't give a fuck. So they don't give a fuck if they drive a piece of shit. Literally, like if it's a shit, you took a dump, you said, here you go, this will actually take you to work and back, they will go in it. So I'm not talking about those people, but the people that actually give a shit about cars, design language is very important. And you're not gonna just put a fucking tablet in front of me and call it and be like, how cool is that? No, nothing. Not a single.
Well, I mean, like,
you know what's cool?
What if
the Audi digital. The Audi digital screen is cool in the 2017.
Let's see.
2017.
2017.
Well, I mean, I wasn't done, but like that's a full digital screen right there. That image. Like that's a gauge cluster, full digital. Full digital. But it has a gauge cluster. It has an actual dash gauge cluster.
I see what you're saying.
It's not just a screen there. Because if I just wanted a screen...
I mean, it is just a screen.
I mean, no. This is literally what's in the new Mustang. Right there. That's it.
I mean, no. This got some design. It's got some angles. It's a little...
Yeah, a little bit. Like I said, that's not as bad, but...
Let's see this new Mustang. I'm so curious.
2022 Ford, or 2023 Ford Mustang.
Mustang
GT, or I don't know, maybe
12.3-inch touchscreen. Images.
2024, maybe. I forgot what model year it is. Maybe it's a 24. It hasn't come out yet, so try 2024. Yeah, right there. That's it.
This?
Yep. Click on. It's literally 2 screens attached to each other.
Let's straight up 2 tablets. Bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But you know how many companies are doing that? A lot.
So
Mercedes doing it in their cars. Fucking Kia's doing it in their cars. Because apparently that's the shitty design language we're okay with. Done. Nailed it. Give him millions. Billions. He's a genius. No, he's not a genius. What you're doing right there is your...
That is a terrible interior, bro.
Yeah. Literally go back, like, so have that on screen and search up the 2020 Mustang, search up 2020 Mustang.
I'm here. This is
well, that's the, so there's a digital, so that same exact interior, but a digital gauge cluster.
This is the GT. That says it's for the GT.
Yeah, look up the 2019 Ford Mustang Bullet. Interior, yeah, 2019 Bullet interior. It's available also at GTs as well, but yeah, so I think that's it. So that's a full digital gauge cluster. Look at that. Way better interior. Way better interior. Nicer. They went from that to what you just saw for the new model. Lazy. Literally lazy. Somebody said, oh, Kia's doing it and they're making good money. Oh, you know, of course, Mercedes jumping on this. Let's do the same thing. No, it's lazy. You're being lazy.
That is such a, that's, I mean, like, that is a.
That is significantly better interior.
That is like a fundamentally different interior design language.
Yeah. They figure if they jump on this bandwagon that these other because, you know, Kia and Hyundai, they're going after the Germans, right? So obviously they're going to have similarities to what the Germans do. Well, Mercedes been doing this thing where they put 2 fucking tablets up. Oh, let's fight them. BMW just did it in the M2. Look at the BMW M2.
I mean, even this is nice. Yeah.
Look up the 2024 BMW M2 competition. I mean, honestly, you don't.
You said M2?
Yeah. Oh, I guess interior would have been.
Dash. Is it?
That one. 2 screens. No gauge cluster, no actual molding or anything. Just 2 screens together.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
It's literally laziness. At this point, that's all I'm putting it to. I don't care if anybody agrees with me or doesn't. That's what it is. It's laziness. That is not a design language you go with and be like, are you guys excited? No, we're not. You put 2 screens together, and the reason they covered it up is so you don't know that there's an actual no backing to that screen. Like there's no actual gauge cluster. It's just a screen there and a screen there. But like it's already out. Like the new cars already have it. A lot of these are showing you literally the old ones. It's funny.
I see that.
But yeah, so that's the exterior of it right there. It's more squarish and stuff on the right. Yeah, yeah, that's the new.
I don't necessarily like that.
Yeah, I mean, I still like it because the kidney grills are smaller, but
2023. There it is.
Yeah, that's basically it. There you go. Just fucking.
Yeah, I don't really get. I mean, like, at that point, I would just want the whole dash to be the screen.
I know,
like,
right? I mean, if you
just
do a fucking giant screen.
And then because then you could do all sorts of fucking interesting design. Literally, in the graphics.
Give me a screen that's like that big all the way across, and I could just have everything going on.
Yeah, because like if you.
I still wouldn't buy it, but I'm just saying if you're gonna be lazy.
I'm just saying if you're gonna do that, because that reminds me of that. What the fuck was that? I did a review on it on T2G, not like a review, but like I did a CES thing, and they talked about this car where it had like the whole front dash was just one long curved screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's interesting because like you can do more shit with that, right? You can make that be interesting. That could be your progress bar of your trip.
Sure,
like, something interesting,
100%, right? Yeah. And like, I mean, it would be for a car that you don't drive because, in my opinion, I wouldn't drive that car. I would sit there and just let it drive and I'd be like, look at all that information.
I think if I recall correctly, that car, they were talking about autonomous stuff for that a lot. That was a big part of it.
And that's another thing, you know, while we're still talking about cars. When do we lose the wanting to have a driver's license and be able to drive and get away? And like we're losing that. Now we want to be driven. We want to get from point A to point B and just be done.
I think it's just. I think it is a natural progression of. I think it's a natural progression of where people have been going for a long time. There's a reason Uber's a thing.
No, for sure. I mean, some people don't want to get a license. I get that, but I'm talking about like at this point we're talking about majority. Even majority is only 51%. Like we're talking about a lot of motherfuckers just don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't care if they drive. They don't care if they can get in a car and just go somewhere. Like even if it's for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, an Uber is not the same experience. You jump in an Uber, you still got a motherfucker there. Sometimes I just want to be in my car and drive.
I feel you. But I mean, I think that's also people are taking their escape digitally way more. So like that's true. Like let's say kids who 10 years ago, 20 years ago would have gone out for a drive, like
right.
younger people,
right.
are on TikTok now. They're going to spend an hour or two TikToking, and that's their getaway from reality.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, it's...
I guess. It's a sad day, but
it's
to me, it's a sad day. Like, I'm all about escapism in the digital world. Absolutely. I mean, I love video games.
We're literally
for that
making
reason.
a podcast right now.
Yeah, we're making a podcast. But, I mean, that's why. But, yeah, I mean, even outside of podcast is just like, you know, having a conversation and maybe equal-minded people listen to you or whatever. But like, escapism, like, I love video games. That's why I've always, you know, I get to escape. I get out of the normal world.
Right.
But then there's also the real world escape. There's so much to see in the real world. Like, you can get away to somewhere really nice. Where
there really is, bro.
Like,
there's
so much
shit.
So much.
It is.
And like,
I mean, just our recent trip to Colorado. That was
100%.
And like, we didn't even go up into the mountains.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Just the view,
but just
the view from the top of the hotel, and like the environment. Hell, dude, we were driving down Irving a couple weeks ago, and we went farther west than I'd been in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was in a different state.
Dude, I first time ever I drove so far through 83 towards Mokina or whatever, or Monica or Mokina, I think it is.
Mokina.
In Illinois, for that HVAC stuff, and I'm like, fuck, I've never driven this far.
Dude.
I didn't realize this road went this far.
Dude.
I was like, holy shit.
Dude, I think we should do like a fucking road trip to DeKalb one of these days.
Yeah.
We haven't been over there in literal fucking years.
Right
It's like right now.
Right now. Let's go. I got nothing but...
Can't do right now.
Right
I gotta
now.
go to work in the morning. But...
No, you're right. We should. 100%.
But just like that kind of shit, right? Where
you
just, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Hit a direction.
We used to do that a lot. I mean, obviously before the pandemic.
Yeah,
Once the pandemic happened, we got a little...
Shit is different now. Yeah. But even, it's like you really don't need to go that far.
No.
Like within a day's drive, there's...
I promise you...
Within like a quarter day's drive.
I promise you...
Like 4 hours.
90% of the humans in this world, in this country, not world, in this country, haven't seen 99% of their state.
Yeah.
Like, actually seen certain shit that would blow their mind because they're like, fuck, I didn't realize it was this nice or this cool or this.
So here's, I haven't talked to anybody, I haven't even talked to my wife about this. It is officially going to be starting the not race, but the what to call? I don't even know what to call it yet. We got to come up with a name. I want to do a series of videos, but we're gonna be doing the fucking 50 states, the 50 state initiative.
Technically, you could mark off a few of them.
Nope, we're gonna start at 0. Come fucking October, when I turn 40. 50 by 50.
Jesus Christ.
50 by 50. I'm going to give myself 10 years. That's plenty of
time. I mean, that is plenty of time for sure.
Plenty of time. No rush.
It depends how much you want to see and...
Yeah, I mean, two spots in the state.
Right.
The one big one in Illinois that we've already fucking talked about multiple times is fucking Metropolis.
Yeah,
we got to go there. We got to go there in
been.
June.
Yeah.
This year would have been cool because this year was the 85th birthday of Superman.
Oh.
But maybe they celebrate that next year because that just happened like a few days ago.
Oh.
So maybe they'll celebrate that next year.
Oh.
Regardless, that'd be cool because they have a parade. They got Superman Day and all that other shit. So like,
but it's not Junior, so how do they celebrate?
No. We'll plan it out.
I know. I'm saying, how do they celebrate if it's not Junior?
I mean, they must have had something, but I'm saying like they might do something bigger for the June Superman Day celebration. Yeah. So then I'm gonna start working on that list. Like more again.
You should,
because that list is that list already has some really interesting stuff on it. Yeah. And I've talked to people from other states now. I forget her name. She is the owner of a comic book shop that has gone virtual. What an interesting story. I'm gonna have her on the comic book podcast. That's such an interesting story. Yeah. She opened like a coffee shop, comic book shop a few years back, like 2018, 2019. Was doing great. like was on fucking like various news channels review because she was like it was the first black woman owned comic book shop in Philadelphia, if I recall, something along those lines.
Shit.
And it was great. And then fucking pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And she had to shutter, but she's converted to a digital only model. And then she did tell me she's like looking to maybe do some pop-ups and maybe down the line do another physical location.
Right.
But I was like, that's such an interesting story.
That is
she's
dope.
from fucking Philly, and I was like, look, the number one thing, like when I come to Philly, the number one thing I am looking for is the best Philly cheesesteak. That's what I need.
Yeah.
And she gave me like 3 spots to go check out. So like I got a list for like a Philly cheesesteak. So like that one is so high on my list that I'm like, I kind of want to go there first. Let's fucking go to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. No, I want to check out Philly for sure.
But it's like Philly, so like we got to have a good cheeseburger or Philly cheesesteak in Philly, and we got to see the Bell or whatever.
Yeah.
That's in Philly, right? I'm not crazy. It's not in Boston, right?
That might be Boston.
Nah,
I was just thinking. I was just thinking. I'm like, I think he means that in Boston, but I don't know.
I thought it was in Philadelphia.
No, it is Philly. Okay, good.
Oh, shit.
For some reason, I was thinking Boston too. I was like, is it?
But yeah, so there's that. But Pittsburgh, I think, has some cool stuff. But
yeah,
that's like Philly.
Yeah, 100%.
It could be cool to do that. Nah, train would be wild. I think I'm too big for trains. I think their bathrooms are too small.
You mean to like take a train all the way there?
Yeah.
No.
It's a long fucking train ride.
Yeah, we're driving.
But nah, yeah. I think we're gonna do it. I think 50 by 50.
That'd be cool.
It's on the fucking
That'd
so much shit. New York, dude, that's gonna be a
dope.
week. New York's gonna be a whole ass week, bro. Like
yeah.
New Orleans, I feel like it's got to be a month.
Dude,
I'm gonna eat my. New Orleans might have to be last because I might eat myself to death down there.
Yeah.
I might eat myself dead.
100%.
Like
100%.
New Orleans. Just
gumbo,
like the thought of New Orleans.
Just
food,
gumbo
bro.
alone, I'm just gonna devour like 5,000 pounds of it.
Good fucking New Orleans gumbo. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I've had really good gumbo made by a friend of mine. I believe I don't know if she's from New Orleans or if I forget, but she's a family recipe. Shit was so good, bro.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm making gumbo. I was like, I'm staying for it. Like that's what I'm doing. I'm staying here, so you're done.
Yeah. Speaking of good though, you know what wasn't great?
Okay.
Shazam's money.
Do you think it was set up? Do you think it was a setup?
Set up to lose money?
Set up to lose money. Because he talked about like that he like didn't want to officially say nothing, but he talked like he was thinking like there might have been some, not necessarily a conspiracy, but like something to be considered.
But why? Like what would be the benefit to lose that much money?
So they could recast him?
Why? That doesn't even make sense. If you're gonna do that with anybody, you do it with Ezra Miller. You don't do it with the fucking guy that most people actually like. Like,
I don't know.
The guy's genuinely a good dude. Sure, like you might not have 100% like eye to eye on everything, but like he's genuinely a good dude. He talks about mental health. He's always kind to human beings.
Can I tell you, the last couple of fucking interviews I watched with him, it's like
he's over compassion. He's over compassion.
It's getting 100%. Like it's bordering on uncomfortable.
Yeah, like without a doubt. Like, but I mean that's who he is. So like at the end of the day.
But it's like that's who he became supposedly after therapy, right?
Right. That's who he became.
And it's like,
correct. Yeah.
It's like, I thought he was cool before.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Like, what demons did he have to work through?
Apparently a lot.
To like get to this, like that's it. And that's the thing, right? The benefit of therapy. We've talked about it many times. Like, you don't know what you're gonna work through until you start working through some
100%,
shit. Like,
yeah.
You said it yourself. Shit was brought up that you never considered.
Yeah.
Same thing for me. Like shit that I hadn't really thought about.
Yeah.
My most recent session was very interesting. Lots of interesting conversation there.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It's anyway, like his.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
definitely over compassionate.
If he's in a good place, I'm glad for him.
Yeah, exactly. Like listen, I mean, I'm not like that much compassion is not for me, but like I still like the guy. I still like that he promotes fucking love. He promotes
I'm
fucking
interested to see the movie. Supposedly, it's not going to be on
for a while.
Max, until May 23rd when it becomes Max officially.
Hey, listen, that's
a launch. It's a launch title. It's a new streaming platform.
Listen, since we're speaking of DC and Shazam and you brought up Max. Well, let's finish up with Shazam real quick. I didn't think it was to recast him.
I didn't think
that doesn't make sense.
I don't know. That's just
they would just recast him.
That's just something he said, and like it was in a live. Like who knows? Who knows if he even really thinks that?
They would just recast him, unless he's saying like maybe The Rock because he was trying to push some shit. But like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like if they were gonna recast, like I don't understand how tanking your own movie and losing a shit ton of money just like. That's the way to recast. You can just simply be like, "Hey, we're recasting you."
It could be, like, see, like the old stuff wasn't good and wasn't successful, and that's why we have to do this.
Sure.
But I don't know. Look, all I know is,
I personally, if you want to get technical,
watch it.
If you want to get technical, I think it was the fault of what's his nuts, the guy that's running it, that's a director. Gunn. I think it's his fault. He came out and be like, none of it is relevant. Oh, peace.
I don't think it's that.
I think a good chunk of it is that.
I think their marketing was dog shit.
Well, no, their marketing was definitely dog shit, but I think there's a good chunk of that money that was lost due to that.
I don't think so.
after
he people care about the continuity.
No.
General public.
I understand general public, but I'm telling you, for Shazam, it wasn't just general public. Shazam had an audience specific to Shazam.
Sure, but I'm saying from the people, because the first movie did okay. It didn't do great.
Yeah,
but
it did.
Okay.
Like I think it ended up in 380 mil or something. Right.
What I'm saying is, a lot of that was the general public. A lot of that was people who wanted to take their family. It was like a family friendly movie. Because there was that scene where the demon like ate a dude.
Well, whatever.
But like there was no blood, like what I'm saying, like it was generally a family friendly movie, and I think a lot of people missed that. I think didn't realize that that's what was happening in this new one. There is also something to be said about like the marketing. Like I said, the marketing.
I think the marketing
was really bad.
Yeah,
and then just like third trailer out, like third TV spot out, show Wonder Woman.
You showed a lot.
They need to stop.
They showed Batman too. The only person they didn't show
Batman and Shazam.
Yeah. When he was doing the recall, like they showed Wonder Woman. They showed
no, dude.
Oh yeah. The
like
part.
actual scene of Wonder Woman in the movie.
Yeah. But I'm saying like
the this is now like a bad trend with them of like let's show or let's release or let's leak.
Yeah, but
this cameo that we
I get that, man, but I'm telling you right now,
you can't sell the movie on the cameo.
Listen, that movie was 300. Like it wasn't even profitable the first time around. It was only like I said, I think 380. It could be less, could be maybe slightly more, whatever.
I mean, I think it was profitable. I don't think it was highly profitable.
I mean, I think the budget was 120 mil, if I remember, and that's not including that money. So like,
let's say another 100.
So barely profitable compared to their other properties, barely profitable. I think the minute James Gunn said, like, none of it has to do with itself, well then, like, there is a good chunk of that money. Let's call it just 80 million, but that's 80 million less on top of the shitty advertisement where families were like not thinking to go see that as a family movie. So like, you got 80 million less because there's an audience there that were like, oh, this has nothing to do with anything that you're going to be doing. Great, we're done. Oh, you're not going to continue with this after this? Okay, we're done. Like, we don't have to go watch it. So there's at least that 80 mil you lost there.
Even though, like, dude, here's how wild the situation is. somebody posted that there's a rumor that he's out as Shazam. Right?
Before I forget it, also, you took out Black Adam after he released, before Shazam, and a lot of people understand that's a connection. And you already said, yeah, no, Shazam's out. Henry Cavill on his own was a huge hit for them, because Henry Cavill has a huge following and a lot of people passionate about him.
Well, now because of his participation in the DCU.
Sure, but that's what I'm saying. So when you announced that he was back, people were stoked. And then you were like, he's not back.
But that's the old ownership. That's the old ownership.
No, I understand that, but then you come in and you're like, he's not back. So you lost an audience just from that. You did, man.
So you still believe that in 2023 there is a significant enough amount of people that follow a specific actor and will not support a project if he or she is not going to be part of said project?
Well, I'm not saying it's the full budget. I'm also not saying it's the majority of the money that they've lost.
No. I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying that you think, like, I'm asking you, do you believe in 2023 that any actor has a sort of following that if they are suddenly no longer associated with a brand, that fandom will not go support that brand regardless of if they think it looks good?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that anyone has that following.
You're wrong. You could see it in the comments after they declined him. You could see so many comments, and you can just see thousands of comments on his post. That's not including what Twitter was going off of and shit like that. So absolutely, yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't.
I'm not. Once again,
millions of dollars.
Yeah, but that's not. But you're misunderstanding. I'm not talking about a shit ton, but enough where a movie that made only 380.
That's what I'm saying. Significant. I'm talking about a significant number. Like, we're talking. Let's see. Count. Let's see. What we're talking? Black Adam. Box office, right? Well, no, Black Adam was out before Gunn said that he was out, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So Shazam. We're looking at Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam. Yeah, Shazam 2.
Shazam box office. Fury of the Gods box office mojo.
Oh, so bad.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's rough.
I feel bad for that entire cast.
So we're talking 132 mil. Wow, that's bad.
Because the original made 360. So there you go, almost 370.
Right. So the original was 370. Okay, where's the sequel? Fear the Gods. Budget. No, it barely made its budget. Maybe. And that's worldwide once you count the conversion and all that shit.
Right.
So for it to be profitable, let's say it made budget plus 10. For it to be profitable, we need another $100 million. Do you think Henry Cavill? Let's say Henry Cavill plus Zack Snyder, because I feel like there's
I'll tell you right now.
You think there's $100 million worth of fans?
I'll tell you where there is $100 million worth of fans. You ready? Where? Henry Cavill, The Rock, because The Rock got
The Rock's problem. That's The Rock's fault.
Well, no, because
he didn't want to be part of this movie. He didn't want to be part of this movie.
But the news that The Rock is out after you said, "Here comes Henry, here comes The Rock."
Right.
James Gunn, nope. Oh, yeah. I promise you,
Henry Cavill
and no, there was
Rock.
one more. There was one more I was thinking. Who'd you say? You said somebody else.
Zack Snyder.
And Zack Snyder. Yes,
You think that between those three, their fandom is strong enough?
50 mil, easy. 50 mil, easy. Then you're talking about shitty advertising. Right, that's another 50 mil. So yeah, 100 mil gone between stars that you decided to say.
Okay, so you think that's about 50?
Yeah, I would say there's a 50
You think
mil
there's
between
$50 million worth of
three people.
You don't think that's a lot of crossover between those three?
No, I don't think that people that are big fans of The Rock are necessarily big fans of Zack Snyder. A lot. I'm not saying
Sure.
there aren't some, but a lot, no.
So you think there's
Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder, maybe.
Let's see what we're talking about here. So 50 million divided by the average cost of a ticket is $15. You're talking 3.3 million people. Repeating, of course.
I'm repeating, of course. Of course.
I had somebody named Leroy Jenkins in an Apex match the other night, and he ran in and got himself killed and talked shit after a while. And I was like, yeah.
It's like, well, you missed the boat, Leroy. You know how I know you're not the real one? Because the real one didn't talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you think 3.3 million people. So let's say 1.1.
I would say
per.
I would say
3 people.
I would say 3.3 million repeating, of course, between 4 facts, right? The 3 people and James Gunn's announcement of it not being a continuity. That it's a reset. That this does not matter.
You think 3.3 million people didn't go see that?
Between 4 aspects, yeah. So divide that by 4, and that's what you can give each human and that one subject. Yeah.
That seems like a lot, man. I'll be honest with you. That seems like a lot of people that would... First of all, even, 700... Let's say that's roughly 700,000 people. 700,000 people that wouldn't go see this movie because it's not continuity related. That doesn't feel reasonable.
No?
No.
I would disagree.
You think 700,000? Dude, I don't think I could probably get together 700 people that would give a fuck that much about continuity to not go see a movie.
I agree if they weren't already used to MCU doing that already.
I don't think I could find 700 MCU fans, like MCU fans that also like DC, that would care that much about.
I'll give you a perfect example. I think the perfect example is my mother-in-law. She is a perfect example of the general of generals.
Okay.
She gives a shit about continuity.
Really?
When she watches a movie and it does not make sense to her how it connects to the other movies, she loses her shit. She's like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I have to sometimes decide if I want to explain it or not. So if she gives a shit, absolutely, I believe 700,000 people give a shit.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's people that's a mixture of people like me and her, because I definitely give a shit. If you can't give me a concise storyline, you can't figure out what the fuck you doing, why the fuck do I give a fuck?
I don't know, man. Okay, look, honestly, if they hadn't involved Wonder Woman, which I don't know why they involved Wonder Woman.
Because during that time, they were probably still under the impression that, it's all together. But because the original people wanted to come back to, before the sale.
Supposedly she's still on board.
Well, I mean,
here's what I was gonna say. This is how fucked the situation is.
Yeah.
Somebody posted a rumor that he was out because of the poor numbers or whatever. Like that he was out of the DCU. Like
who?
Zachary.
Zachary, yeah.
This is like the crazy fucking world that we are living in.
Mm-hmm. We do live in a crazy world.
He tweets at James Gunn, effectively his boss, any truth to this? And James Gunn tweets back a reply, LOL, or no, Jesus Christ, no. This motherfucker is having an employment discussion on Twitter.
No, he's having a rumor discussion on Twitter.
Hey, I heard that I might be fired.
But that's how you see it.
That's what it is.
No. That's how you see it. The only reason he brought it.
In universe is that not anything but a.
Let me put it in the universe that you are not thinking about. All right, you ready? He already knows he's not unemployed. So now he's gonna show the general audience that fake news like this needs to be fucking stopped. Hey, James Gunn, best way to do it, I'm gonna tweet at you. Is this true? You do your part. Because he knows the answer. Okay. You don't think he knew the answer once he saw that when he was tweeting about the loan numbers, which were 50 mil, you don't think he would have known by then? You out, bro? No, he would have.
It felt really fucking desperate, I'll be honest with you, man.
No, because he's annoyed. He's annoyed that people keep doing these rumor mills or take something like. Obviously, the unemployment wasn't something that was in his conversation, but he's sick and tired because it's a consistent thing where people take something out of context or they lie about shit. In general, same shit. And he's right there. And
hard to find people now because fucking.
Oh yeah, they don't have the
check marks.
Yeah, the check marks are gone.
That's funny. That's a good one. Somebody tweeted, I celebrate 420 on 1.5 because I know how to reduce fractions, and he retweeted it. That's good. That's a good math joke. I love a good math joke.
How do you reduce fractions? It's because I'm learning fractions, so I remember how you reduce fractions.
4 goes into 25 times.
No, I understand. No, I understand. But when you don't do fractions for a very long time, you forget it. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Bro, I feel you. He's kind of like, it's funny. Dude from AG. The fuck is AGI? See, this is what I'm saying.
I think AGI is like the Chat GPT. I think that's what they're talking about.
Oh. Nuclear. Oh, artificially generated images, I think.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
Anyway, it's very interesting. He's kind of like. He's weirdly active on Twitter, and it's a little disconcerting.
Well, no, because he's always been one of those people that wants to be active with the audience that likes him. So that's why he did Nerd HQ. That's why he's always going to be like that. That's who he
right.
is.
He did do Nerd HQ. Shit,
yeah,
I forgot about that.
And he was very intimate with that audience, very much. They never held back.
See, the way you said that, it made it sound really weird.
Nope.
You said he was very
because that's how you took it. But he was. That's what you would say. He was very intimate because he always never held back. He always told them the truth. He always spoke about any rumor mill, any behind the scenes shit. Right. He never held back. He never held back how his relations are with like the Jensen Ackles or.
I didn't go get Starbucks today.
Oh, you fool.
Damn, that means I fucking wasted $5.
Well, you are a fool.
Because I was supposed to go today.
I'm glad we went to Starbucks while we're talking.
Sorry, I was thinking about my coffee.
Okay, good. Well, so at the end of the day, he's very much about he's a sharer. He's all about setting the fucking shit right. He's if he gets annoyed that you're fucking spreading lies, then at some point he'll call you out. And how he does it is how he chooses to do it. Just because you see something else doesn't mean that that's what it is. It's just you just have to accept that people don't do the same shit you would do.
Right.
I personally, honestly, the whole James Gunn thing, I would have done the same thing. If I knew for a fact that I wasn't fired, I would have done it the same way.
Right, I feel.
I'm like, hey, James Gunn, since you're the boss, you wanna let the people know if this fake article is real?
So you were gonna move forward from Shazam. Was it gonna be to Blue Beetle? Because that trailer looks awesome.
No, not Blue Beetle, but that fucking trailer does look awesome. And
that trailer looks awesome.
I'm really worried for that movie.
I really want that movie to be great.
That movie will be fun.
I really want that movie to be great. I want it to do great. I am like...
Yeah,
there's not a single thing about that trailer that I don't like.
Real quick, because we talked about this on your TikTok. I said... What did I say, buddy? Oh, looking at Shazam, I said under 100 mil, right?
You said under 100 mil.
Under 100 mil.
Crazy.
Crazy
to me that you would say that.
On 100 mil.
The Flash is going to make $1 billion. No, you said under 100 mil for Flash.
Did I say that for Flash?
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, and Erica said 50. I think you said something like 70.
For the Flash.
Yeah, and Erica said 50, and I was like, that's crazy.
No, with nostalgia. Okay, Blue Beetle. I'm worried that similar things are going to happen, like Shazam, and they're just not going to have the same. Maybe just a shitty of what's it called, advertising and all that shit. So, at the end of the day, I am worried that it's not going to make money. I 100% believe probably on $100 million. Shazam or Flash? No, I listen. If it hits a bill,
I think Flash is gonna make $1 billion.
I don't think so.
I think Flash is gonna make $1 billion, and I think it will be the resurrection of DCU.
I think it's gonna make $250 million.
Wow, they're not even gonna have. That's not even enough money to pay.
Can we let's pull up your TikTok. I really want to know what I said. Pull up your TikTok.
That's my TikTok.
TikTok. Toe. Yeah, pull it.
What was it? That was a while ago.
A month ago.
Oh Jesus! Whoops! I forgot to fucking finish that message. Let's see.
Because I'm curious. Because I'm like, man, did I really say Flash on that thing? Under 100?
All right, come on, load. Where was it? It was.
Yeah, I would say Flash. Flash maybe makes 250.
All right, so we've been discussing the DC film slate, especially with the poor performance of Shazam 2.
And it's poor.
It's pretty bad.
Sorry, Zach.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro.
We've been discussing what we think the Flash will do. With everything taken into account.
Ezra having many issues.
He has a lot of
All
issues.
the many articles talking about how the movie had so many problems.
Right. Lots of. There are many factors that will contribute to what happens with the Flash. You're saying.
I'm going with
Shazam 1
numbers, 367 million.
That's what I said.
So you said 367 million.
Yeah.
I said
I'm going to stay with that number, but I feel like that's high.
I'm still
going to
say
I say 250.
I'm going to say a Billy. Somebody said opening weekend 80 to 110, total 650 to 700. I think that's a fair median. I'm still going with a Billy. I think it'll make a Billy.
I mean, listen, I know I'm not seeing it, so there's one less seed than the billion they made with the other billion movies.
I'm debating.
Well, I'm not going because I haven't been going to the theater.
Sure, so. Yeah. The trailer is going to have to... I mean, like, if the trailer's good... Nah, I'm not going to go see it.
No.
I am going to go see... I have seen everything I need to see for Blue Beetle.
Yeah, no,
I will go see Blue Beetle.
No, Blue Beetle is great. Honestly,
honestly, they could come out and say it has nothing to do with anything. It's a standalone movie. I'm still going to go see it. It looks great.
Right.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
It looks like everything I could possibly want from a Blue Beetle movie.
Yeah.
Like the fucking interaction with the suit.
100%.
All of it. Yeah. But the funny thing is the fact that people are like, Jaime talks to the suit. Yeah, Jaime's always fucking talked to the suit since the literal day one.
What are they talking about?
Like day
Bro,
one.
I don't even know much of that story, but just going off of the fucking Titan shows, he's always talking. He's always talking to the suit.
Always talk. In the comics, they showed it. It was.
Oh yeah. In the comics, it's got like a zigzag.
It's got a language.
Thing. Yeah.
It's got a different language originally. Eventually, it did have like its own captions and shit.
Yeah.
But that's when he figured out like. That's how they wanted to write it. But originally, they would show these like really sprawling, big like sections of alien text.
Right.
And like it was like you had the understanding that it was talking. He understood it,
but we didn't.
We didn't hear it.
Right.
That was the whole point.
That was the whole point.
Because we were kind of seeing it from a third-person perspective. By the way, one of the greatest moments, I'd forgotten about this completely, but I looked through the comic, like his first appearance, or his first issue rather, after his first appearance.
Yeah.
Guy Gardner, who had become a Green Lantern again at this point, comes to like fight him because he thought that like Ted had said something about the Scarab. He's like, you got to give the Scarab back or whatever. And he's fighting him. He doesn't know who it is, and he's fighting him. And at some point, Jaime like pulls the face mask back, and he's like, "You're a kid." And he looks at the ring like he's mad at the fucking ring, and he's like, "I don't fight kids." like The Ring had fucking done it, right? And I was just like, wow, like it's funny because like Guy is a little like he's kind of like made fun of. He's kind of like the goofy fucking Green Lantern,
right?
But like Guy is probably the goodest dude on that that group of dudes. Like Guy has always wanted nothing more but to be the hero. Right. Yeah, he's a jackass about it sometimes.
Sure, yeah.
But he is a good dude.
All right, so here's what I'm saying. So whatever number I said, I'll stick to that because
367.
367. I'll give Blue Beetle the Shazam numbers, current Shazam numbers.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you're a bad person.
No, I'm not a bad person. I want it to hit $1 billion.
I want it to hit $1 billion.
Yeah,
I want it,
but it won't.
I want it to be the Black Panther. For the Latin community. I think that would be incredible.
Yeah. So what I was going to go into, I do want to get.
But I'll be honest with you, they all too busy working.
Yeah, for sure. So what I wanted to go into actually was giving the new owners. I do want to give them props for making the. Honestly, I think the name makes sense. Max makes sense. Honestly, it just works in many ways. I mean, it works in many ways, not just because they have Cinemax, but it just works like it's the Max. You get everything. You literally get Discovery shit. You get. I'm just saying, I like it. I think
it's whatever
compared to HBO Max.
Apparently, so this is. I mean, you know, as much as you can know without being in the room.
Right.
Apparently, the reason they changed it was because HBO made it like sound hoity-toity, and the everyday people thought it was like off-putting for them.
Right.
So they wanted to change it to something that was just more for everyone.
Sure.
And I was like, I guess like.
I mean, I think I like the name, and I do like what they're saying.
But I'll be honest, most people were just calling it Max anyway.
Well, I know.
Most people are just saying, "Oh, it's on Max."
Yeah. And I will say, like from what I saw for pricing, not bad considering you're getting everything.
It's fine. Yeah. I like that they have the cheaper tier for you, if you want to just do 1080 or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Ad supported, whatever. I'm kind of.
Yeah.
Honestly, I never necessarily had a problem with the ads. Like the fact that Netflix came out and they didn't have ads, that was great, right? That was lovely. And that's what everyone was trying to like get back to.
Right.
I've never really had a problem with ads in particular.
I don't.
Because I've understood that that's how the shit gets paid for. So
no,
like,
I understand that, but if I'm going to pay
I would prefer to not have ads.
Here's the thing. If I'm going to pay a streaming service to get only their shit, right? Because I can't get other people's shit on it, right? Normally. I can only get their shit on it. Then I don't want ads. Because I'm only getting your shit. I'm not getting everything else.
I mean, that's true. I mean, technically Netflix is the only place that's not true. Although now Disney Plus will have Sony shit on it. So
Right.
But like, no, I think Netflix is like the only one that they have their stuff, but they also have
a bunch of
whatever
other
else,
shit.
whatever else the deals they make.
Yeah.
And then you have everyone else is kind of doing their own thing.
Right.
Netflix is going to die soon.
I agree.
Like for sure.
Here's the thing. Here's what's funny. So let's finish off with this subject. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's finish it off because it's been a long one. But it's been a good one. A while back, when Disney was first coming out, when Disney Plus was first coming out, somebody, I think it was my brother-in-law, or whatever, they were like, "Oh, Netflix is done. They're over." And I'm like, "What does it matter if another streaming service comes out providing their shit? That still doesn't take away what Netflix is doing and with their shit. So like, why would they be done?" However, they're not done because of Disney Plus. That's not why they're done. They're not done
because everyone else has shit.
Well, it's not even that. You know why they're done? They're making bad moves. They're doing shit that people aren't happy with.
That's true.
Doing the whole password shit, even though in the past.
I still don't understand what this new thing is.
I don't know. I don't give a fuck. But supposedly you weren't supposed to be able to password share. Regardless, there was that. Even though back in the day, like not even that far, in my opinion. I mean, people act like it's far, but I think it was like 2018 or something, or 2019, where they tweeted like password sharing is good, or however they put it. It was in So, going back on your word. But then there's also what you're doing with shows. You're just canceling shit. You're doing the shit that nobody liked that Fox did.
Right.
Why the fuck would I pay you to do the same thing? You're not going to finish a show. Like, for instance, and I don't give a fuck if a lot of people didn't like it. You said Cowboy Bebop was a miniseries. I don't expect more than 2 seasons when you say that. Shit, I don't expect more than 1 season when you say that, right? You couldn't finish it after you gave us that much, but then that's not the only one they fuck up. Oh, Warrior Nun. We're just going to cancel it. What? You didn't even tell us it was fucking out.
Yep.
Let alone, now you're just going to cancel it with a fucking...
They just renewed something that... I forget what it was, but I commented. I was like, how the fuck are they going to remove this? I haven't even heard anyone talk about this.
Right.
And I think the season 1 hasn't even fully completed or something weird about the renewal. Like they've already renewed it. It's only been out for like a couple weeks or something. Right. And I was like, but you canceled Warrior Nun, which had a built-in fan base.
Built it. It's a fantastic show. It is a fantastic.
It's a great show. It almost ended in a way where you could just watch it and be done, but no, they definitely set up a season 3.
No, they definitely set up a season 3. That's the problem.
You watched season 2?
Yeah.
Mother Superior, right?
Mother Superior is better.
God damn. God damn.
Listen, I know. Listen here, Mother Superior, and I know you're a religious lady and everything, but I mean, if you ever, need to hang out. But no, it's it's a fantastic. First of all, how the fuck do you drop the ball and not let anybody know the fucking season? Like when I saw new seasons here, I'm like,
yeah, they drop new episodes or whatever.
What are you talking about?
Strange.
When did it come? Like what? Or not new seasons here, but new episodes playing, and I'm like, what the fuck do you mean new episodes playing, bro?
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean new episodes?
Where was the commercial? Where was you have a whole YouTube channel? You didn't even I don't even remember you dropping a fucking thing.
That there should be TikTok. There was a whole big support for it on TikTok, and the fact that there wasn't any TikTok ads for it.
Dude, nothing.
The fact that I didn't they could have reached out. There's 15 fucking movie TV people that just do that shit.
Right.
They could have been like, hey, here's a couple grand. Tell your people that this show's coming back.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Nothing.
Views.
What's a couple of grand?
Views, bro.
What's a couple of grand? Even if they just put an ad on their trailer.
Right.
That they uploaded.
Like
the fuck are you doing?
It's I don't know. It's weird. It's weird stuff, man. It's weird behavior.
No, that's why they're dying. They're not dying because there's so many people will pay for all these streaming services. Some people won't, but there are people that want entertainment and they'll pay for all of it. No, you kill yourself by doing stupid shit.
Right.
You start killing off shows that don't have endings that people actually enjoy. You start fucking making weird decisions about accounts and stuff. Bro, you're just giving yourself a bad name. I would have never agreed that Netflix was going to die when people were like, oh, Disney Plus gone, they're done. Oh, HBO's gone, they're done.
Right.
No. But then you start doing stupid shit after those come out, yeah, you killed yourself.
Yeah, I mean, this is the reality of it is we're still in the resolution phase of this whole era, right?
Yeah.
I said for years, I fought with Comcast for I don't even know how many fucking times about I just need these 5 channels.
Right.
And they're like, well, you need this 250 channel fucking package to do that.
I just need 5 channels.
But no, I just want these 5, bro.
Yeah, I just need the 5.
And you could never do that, right? There was just no way to do that.
Right.
And now you do have that, but it's just we're in a rocky space because the problem is they're still kind of relying on cable.
Right.
But it's I just need 2 or 3 more things to be subscribable.
Right.
I can kill the cable line.
Yep.
We don't really use the cable line except once in a while to watch something live.
Yeah, so for
Oscars
instance, Discovery, the guys that now own HBO, sometimes they won't, I watch Street Outlaws, and sometimes they'll put it on Discovery Plus as a premiere show, so it'll always every episode will premiere on Discovery Plus.
Right.
But the current season doesn't. I have to have Discovery to be able to watch it on Discovery Go, and if I can't log into a provider, I can't watch it.
Right. Yeah.
It's shit like that.
Yeah.
Even though I have Discovery Plus, which is their streaming platform.
But you know what that is, right? That's Comcast deciding to pay Discovery X amount more money to have that exclusivity early on.
Leave this here.
It's all these back end shell games of who's got the money. Yeah. Like it's all it is.
Yeah.
Because Comcast is fighting tooth and fucking nail to be like something.
Right.
Like, because they're gonna die in 10 years too.
No, yeah.
Like they need to shift to strictly providing internet.
100%. Internet, and obviously they're trying to do phone service and shit.
Yeah, phones. Yeah, but like TV, the way
TV is almost done, dude. Bro, you can get on,
like the
Roku. No, Pluto. You can get on Pluto and you can get most shit.
Yeah, I mean there is so little that needs to be done at a certain time.
Yeah.
Like news is the last thing that's going to be on TV.
Yeah.
News and fucking game shows.
You know what's funny?
I guarantee you, there's going to be whoever the fuck is in charge of game shows service that you're going to pay for. You're going to be able to watch all the game shows. We used to have 4 boxes for Comcast
in our house, right?
4. Like for different TVs.
Yeah,
and shit.
Yeah. We are down to 1, and only because of my mother. We don't touch cable TV. The only reason we touch cable TV is if it's not on one of the streaming service that we already have.
We hadn't switched. I'd forgotten how to switch the TV over. That's how long it had been.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten how to switch the TV over.
Like I haven't touched
because our remote went bad. Like the fucking batteries leaked out. And I just haven't dealt with them to get another one. But we had worked it out with the fucking. There's an app you can get for the remote.
Right.
But we had worked it out like how to change the channel and everything. We had done that sometime in 2022.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, I want to watch the fucking Super Bowl." And I was like, or the halftime.
Yeah, the halftime. Right.
And I was like, "Cool." And I'm sitting there trying to figure it out how to try. Like it took me a little bit to get it because we hadn't switched over in so long. Because we don't do it. We don't fucking use it.
Right. Yeah.
So people.
And I mean, the only reason I give a shit that we have it is so I can watch that Discovery, like that one thing.
Exactly.
It's one fucking thing. It's nothing else.
It's going to be.
I have Hulu for everything else. I have HBO Max if I ever want to watch. Like honestly, the most, which has been kind of like I've been paying attention to it recently. Like the most streaming service stuff I watch is Hulu, because they have a lot of their shows on there, and Paramount. Like, yeah, we have Max, but how many times do I actually go on
season 3?
It looks really good.
Did you finish season 2?
I didn't watch any of Picard.
Oh, well, you shotgun the whole show.
Yeah, I know.
It's done now.
I know.
Bro, season... Oh, my God.
I know.
Season 3.
I know.
Here's the thing.
Does he die? Ruin it for everybody. Does he die?
Technically, he dies in season 1.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah. Now you gotta figure out how that works.
No, I know how it works. Don't you I'm smarter than the average man.
No, I don't know if it'll bother because I don't think it will bother you because I don't think you spend enough time.
Because I like story.
No. Kind of. It's like character stuff and how they deal with certain characters and stuff.
Well, I haven't watched full of
TNG, and I think that's why it won't bother you.
Yeah.
There's definitely some stuff that if you've like done the whole deep dive into fucking TNG and everything, and
I don't think it would still bother me.
Like sitting back and looking at it critically, there are some stuff that they did like just kind of for no reason.
Sure.
Because like they do something in season 1 that then they essentially undo in season 3 for like effectively no reason. I mean, for plot reason, obviously.
Sure, yeah.
To like do this thing that they didn't know how to do.
But at the same time,
but essentially for no reason. And it's like I don't know. To me, it still makes sense. There are people who definitely didn't like what they did, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, the nostalgia of it is huge. The 7 of 9 arc in this show, like for someone who loved Voyager, as far as Star Trek, Voyager is home to me. Like,
I did watch quite a few episodes of Voyager.
7 of 9, like watching Seven of Nine's entire arc through all of that, and now into this.
Is she's not full robot?
No, she was never a robot. She was Borg.
Borg, right?
So she had implants.
Right. She had implants and stuff. Yeah,
she
I would let her run my world.
Oh, so okay, we'll end it on this because this is one last little bit of like fun trivia. Star Trek Voyager is the reason we got a black president. So Jerry Ryan, who played Seven of Nine, was hired on for the like near failure of Star Trek Voyager specifically because it wasn't doing great. There wasn't like a sex symbol on the show because that's what they thought was necessary.
Sure.
So they needed someone to be sexy. Yeah. Because on TNG, I guess it was Deanna, which I guess like yeah sure because she wore the like kind of cleavage stuff. She usually had skirts on and stuff. I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
So they hire on Jerry Ryan to play Seven of Nine, and they have her in these sexy leotards and stuff, right? And she has to move to California for that. That doesn't work for her politician husband at the time, and they have a pretty messy divorce. He goes on in 2004 to run for state senate. The details of this very messy divorce leak out to the public. He falls out of favor in the public eye, loses to an up-and-coming Barack Obama.
Oh, shit, ladies and gentlemen!
And Barack Obama then goes on to become president of the United States. I was like, when I heard that, I was like, that's crazy. The fact that like, oh, let's bring some let's bring a sex symbol onto this like show so we can kind of boost up the ratings, and that leads us to our first black president, which I was like, that's fucking crazy. That's like cause and effect shit, man. That shit's fucking funny as hell to me.
That is funny.
Like, yeah, apparently they had a really messy divorce. Like, because I'd heard that she had at some point been married to
a politician.
I was not aware, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. But like, I knew they had broken up at some point, so I kind of never even looked further into it. Yeah. And then I just found this out, and I was like, that's great. Like, I love everything about that story because he was doing pretty decent in numbers, and then the story about like this messy divorce came out. Like, I guess I don't know what he did.
You know what his name is?
Jack Ryan. Yeah, it's Jack Ryan. I thought that was funny too.
I just saw that and I was like, no fucking way. His name
Jack
is.
Ryan.
That's crazy.
That's why her name is Jerry Ryan.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so that's how we got our first black president because Voyager wasn't doing too great.
See, you learned something after this giant mess of conversation. You still learned something.
You always learn something on T3G on the Tangents podcast.
That was fun, man.
Absolutely. That's going to be it for this one, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for
listening for 2 hours and 3 minutes.
2 hours. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah. A little bit less because I think we had cut off.
Yeah,
so 2 hours. Thank you for 2 hours.
Yeah.
We will see you in the next one.
Yeah.